Well, the owner of a now closed Union County wedding venue is facing charges after policy, and police now say that he's now defrauded both couples and investors out of thousands of dollars. So the Union County Sheriff's Office says they've received multiple reports of fraud stemming back to December of last year involving Jason Lottmann, the owner of Champagne Manor. Deputies say Lottmann allegedly swindled couples out of nearly $50,000 for full-service wedding packages, and they were supposed to cover the venue, catering, and other essentials. But as their wedding dates approached, customers say they received calls from vendors demanding payment. Lottmann is also accused of allegedly operating an investment scheme called the Partner Program, where he then solicited large sums under the pretense of funding venue upgrades. Well, detectives discovered Lottmann was taking deposits from victims and then selling items purchased with stolen funds on Facebook Marketplace. Lottmann was then arrested on Tuesday. He now faces numerous felony charges and is being held at the Union County Detention Center on a $1 million bond. Now, this story has gotten a lot of attention because of just what we're talking about here. You have people who are in love, who are looking to tie the knot, who, you don't start off your marriage, with this kind of stuff.
Statistically, they're only in love for a little bit of time.
That's a whole nother topic, but obviously we're going to bring in Chief Legal Analyst Kelly Rose to this conversation. So legally speaking here, my first question is, will the victims ever see their money back?
It really just depends. I mean, let me first start by saying I tip my hat to the investigators here to be able to track and figure out what was going on and what was happening. And you talk about him being doing the sales on Facebook Marketplace. He was caught in the middle of a transaction. They set up a sting for him to come sell something on Marketplace, and that's where they arrested him. It really just depends on how much money he had, how much money was left. I mean, if he was buying things and he was just using the money to purchase other things and spend it on trips and stuff like that, then there's probably no money left. So you're asking the question of can victims or how much they can get back? First, it depends on how first you're in line. So you want to preserve and protect your ability to capture some money, getting representation to ensure that, hey, whatever money is going to be taken from the sale of the business or the sale of the assets that he already acquired, I want to be first in line to get priority in front of anyone else. So it's basically the first to file. First, whoever gets in front gets access to the money. And most of the time, situations like this, say if it's a pot of $100,000, and say there's 20 people. The first person may have $50,000, so now there's only $50,000 left to get access to. So I would encourage anyone that was a victim to get in line first by getting an attorney. They will go through the assets. They'll see what was there. If there is nothing there, then the answer to your question is, then you can't get anything back.
I mean, nothing from nothing is nothing, right?
So my hope is that there is something left that they can sell so that these individuals that put money into this pot that turned out to be nothing but a scheme can get something back.
I got to get this question in because here we just reported there that the victims now were being asked for this money, and they found out that they were being hustled because they're like, wait a minute, I paid this guy already to cover everything, the venue, catering, whatever. And so when you look at that, could those victims be now held liable for the money that's owed to the other people?
I think that would be a stretch. I mean, the vendors are going to have a contract with him, with the defendant. And because the vendors will have a contract with the vendors, that's the nature of this service. I'm a person that's wanting to have a wedding. I go to a location. The location takes care of everything. They isolate me and insulate me from any liability that could potentially be there from those vendors. And so there would be no liability towards the vendors. Now this person, this defendant, has two folks that are coming against him. He's going to have the original clients. He's going to have the vendors. And that's why I mentioned that in the beginning. If you believe that you have money that you are owed, everyone is going to be trying to get money from this same pot. So it's not unlimited resources. At the end of the day, that money will run out. I mean, if they want to try to make sure they protect themselves, normally credit cards can protect you. Normally insurance can protect you. So if you have wedding or venue insurance, in a situation like this happens with fraud, they'll give you your money back.
My heart goes out to the victims, but I guess it teaches us you got to look for love in all the right places. Kelly Rhodes, appreciate your coverage.